Kristina 𝙀𝙀𝐿 is a beautiful blonde, waiting for Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet.
Kristina was your knockout California girl. 18, pretty.
She would use her sexuality and her beauty to, like, seduce men and draw them in.
But this is no ordinary damsel in distress.
When she drank or used drugs, it really changed who she was. She was just this monstrous, terrible person.
Don't come back!
And in this fairy tale, there's no happy ending.
What's up, Panic Fam? I'm Hannah. And if it's 2 a.m., the lights are off and the popcorn has gone cold, you know, it's Panic TV time. Welcome. If you survived this, and this, congratulations, all right? Congratulations. But your luck runs out here.
Bedford County, Virginia, known for its acres of lush green farmland. Since 2005, 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐭 has been the home to an unlikely couple. 28-year-old blonde bombshell Kristina 𝙀𝙀𝐿 and her boyfriend, 77-year-old 𝙘𝙫𝙚𝙧𝙀. It's 10 years into their relationship, and tonight something very bad is about to happen in 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐭, Virginia.
What? Just stay right here, I'll handle this.
This isn't the first time Kristina 𝙀𝙀𝐿 has been pushed aside by an older man.
Her father left her mom, and they had got a divorce, I guess, at a young age. She didn't really grow up with a strong father figure in her life.
By 1998, 17-year-old Kristina 𝙀𝙀𝐿 is living with her mother in Northern California. Without her dad, Kristina grows up fast.
She got in a little trouble. It was, alcohol, maybe some, what do you consider to be small-time type drugs, stuff like that.
Troubled Kristina is diagnosed with bipolar disorder in high school and takes prescription medication to control her mood swings. Around this time, she also seeks out male attention, perhaps to fill the void her father left.
It was, I'm so beautiful, I can get anything I want and any man I want, and men will just do whatever I want because this is who I am.
And this blonde bombshell usually gets what she wants.
She would see a guy that she liked and they would hook up, and that was it, and that's how she was.
But her life changes during high school when she becomes pregnant. She decides it's best to give the baby up for adoption.
She was not ready to have a child, and so she was doing the right thing because she was so young.
She knows firsthand how hard it is to grow up without her father, and she doesn't want her child to suffer the same fate.
It did continue to have an effect on her emotionally, not just through the rest of high school, but a few years afterwards.
It creates a need for stability, financial stability especially, because probably in her mind, one of the main reasons for giving up the child is she was not capable of materially providing for it.
2000. After high school, Kristina takes a job at a popular lingerie chain. Kristina is as ravishing as the merchandise. She is just the type of woman 67-year-old businessman 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙧𝙀 would like to have answering his phones.
Someone who worked with Bill was sent down to talk to her to offer her a great new position at his business as his executive assistant. So she obviously was pretty excited about that and got interviewed and got the job.
When Kristina saunters into the office and meets Bill, she is very eager to please the man in charge.
Bill 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐭𝐭𝐲, how are you?
Bill is 49 years older than Kristina. This is the ultimate statement of father figure. He's stable, he's got money, he can offer security she never had. So it's a total package for her.
I know it is.
And before long, Kristina figures out exactly how to work Bill.
She would wear certain things to accentuate her beauty, and, you know, and Bill probably didn't mind that.
Despite the fact that he's divorced with 2 daughters older than Kristina, this successful CEO is smitten.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I gotta call you right back, okay? So, okay.
It's not long before Bill invites Kristina to join him for a night out on the town. Bill takes their relationship in a dangerous new direction.
Oh, Kristina.
Drinks and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
That was the first time that Bill actually ever crossed the real line and had sexual advances on her.
Kristina is more than happy to oblige.
She's going to be able to get what she wants. Sex for money, sex for stability. It's a pretty good deal.
Their relationship transforms overnight, and Kristina becomes Bill's pampered princess.
Anything that she needed or wanted, he would provide for her.
I feel like Kristina felt entitled to all the nice things, and that was kind of like their trade-off, and, you know, he gets to be with me.
It's the perfect arrangement, but only if Kristina can keep her hands out of the cookie jar. 18-year-old Kristina Pondgrass has become the trophy girlfriend of her boss, 67-year-old Bill 𝐏𝐿𝐴. After a steamy night at a strip club, they've developed a new sort of business arrangement, one that doesn't necessarily require any clerical skills, except perhaps for purchase orders.
She had access to his credit cards and checking account, and she could basically like go online and buy whatever she wanted and kind of, you know, use his money at her disposal.
In return, all Kristina has to do is keep Bill happy in the bedroom.
I feel like her love may have came from him saving her and taking her away from like a bad lifestyle and giving her like a taste of the good life.
It's easy money made easier through the constant use of liquid lubricants.
She just needed a little push. She knew it. It was a way of numbing what remaining feelings she had so that it would be easy for her to engage in this thing.
Despite their age difference, love blossoms for the unlikely pair. Well, it does for one of them.
Bill, to me, was really in love with Kristina. He held her at such a high regard, and Kristina was his princess, and that's what he would call her.
Kristina has found her missing father figure and is becoming quite comfortable living the high life.
She was very enamored with not just Bill himself, but his money and his freedom to take her anywhere. And she obviously got very caught up in it. She'd not had that before.
Later that year, Bill moves to �10⁸ Virginia, where he's procured a 3,700 square foot love nest.
It's on, you know, like 15 acres of land. It's just a beautiful house. It was just really nice.
In November of 2004, Kristina moves to Virginia to be with Bill. But, like a bird in a gilded cage, it's not long before she feels trapped.
Cheers, ladies.
When Kristina registers for classes at a local community college, she immediately begins making friends.
Kristina had a party at the house or something, and Bill didn't know about it or came home, and there was a bunch of people over, and he got really upset and like kind of kicked everyone out and stopped it from going on.
Ugh, I swear my neighbors think I'm probably getting murdered right now.
You're gonna have to leave. I'm sorry. Kristina's got to study.
The age difference becomes apparent when he starts telling her, "You're spending too much time with friends. What about me?"
Bill's possessiveness only pushes her further away.
So she's gonna go out, she's gonna party. You throw alcohol into the mix, and it's further going to disinhibit what little control she already had over her aggressive impulses.
What's worse, Bill's family does not approve of his relationship with the much younger Kristina.
Bill's daughters think that Kristina's a gold digger. I think that they believe she was only in it for the money.
Tensions flare when Kristina gets out of hand in early 2006. After a heated argument at the mansion, Bill's daughters accuse Kristina of being a gold digger.
Kristina pulled a gun on one of Bill's daughters and actually went to jail for a little bit.
You're a horrible daughter.
Kristina spends the night in jail, cooling
Don't come
off.
back here either.
Kristina wanted to get both the daughters out of the will so that she could inherit everything.
Don't come back.
Blinded by love, Bill sides with Kristina and bails her out of jail.
Bill loved her so much that it didn't really matter to him. It was just, you know, whenever Kristina messed up, it was his job to fix it.
Having a good time.
But Kristina will continue to test Bill's limits until he's had enough. Kristina Pongratz has been involved in a steamy relationship with a much older man. He's taken very good care of her over the past 9 years. But when Bill Herkenreiter's health starts to decline in late 2009, Kristina finds herself in the position of caretaker.
When Bill was sick, Kristina would push him in a wheelchair, you know, tend to his needs, cook for him, and things like that.
Caring for her senior boyfriend is draining on 27-year-old Kristina, so she relies on an old friend, alcohol, to get through the tough times.
The last thing she wants to feel is trapped, and now she's feeling almost compelled in this caregiver role, and alcohol is her way of escaping it.
Confined to the first floor of the home, Bill struggles to keep up with his much younger companion.
Kristina and Bill didn't have a real sexual relationship. They weren't sleeping together. And so Kristina was looking for that and found it elsewhere outside the house.
Kristina begins entertaining younger lovers right under Bill's nose.
In her bedroom, there was what appeared to be a stripper pole. I mean, it was mounted from the wall to the floor.
Kristina just felt very sexually empowered, being like, oh, guess what I ordered today? I'm gonna have a stripper pole in my bedroom. That was Kristina's way of having fun. She could have some kind of bragging rights or talk about her sexual escapades, and that's what it was.
Kristina's blatant promiscuity tests Bill's patience.
I feel like he got jealous and was like really possessive of Kristina and kind of wanted Kristina all to himself. But I think in the back of his mind, maybe he knew that she wasn't gonna be faithful because he's so old.
You bitch, how could you do this to me? Always you do this to me!
Kristina is quickly spiraling out of control.
She drank a lot. She even got involved with drugs. And then actually physically got involved with other guys, sleeping with other guys. So it was everything that she didn't have in the house.
On April 18th, 2009, Kristina is stopped by police for her suspicious driving.
And was just obviously inebriated and came out and got behind the wheel, and a cop was there and arrested her. Her response was that she was having a really bad day.
She fails her breathalyzer test
Someone get me out of here!
and is hauled off to jail. Once again, Bill is there to bail her out.
Honey!
No.
Thanks for getting me out.
You're embarrassing you, and you're embarrassing me.
By the following year, Bill is exhausted. He agrees to allow Kristina's friend, 𝙀𝙀𝙧𝙀 James, to move in to keep her company and help her with the housework.
No! Don't you dare!
A few months later, the tension inside the mansion reaches a boiling point. Bill has finally had enough of Kristina's spending, her temper, and her friends.
Bill actually told her, I'm gonna cancel the credit cards so you can't spend any more money.
But Kristina Pongratz always gets her way.
She didn't want to share the wealth. She wanted to be queen, she wanted to be #1, she wanted it all, and she wanted it for herself.
That's what you get!
And she's not going out without a fight.
He's gonna kill me! Call 911!
After a tumultuous 10 years, Sugar Daddy Bill Herkenreiter wants Kristina Pongratz out of his life for good.
Bill says he wants the friend out, and he tells her to leave too. I think that he had told her that before, but for whatever reason, this really gets her this time.
The turning point for Kristina was him saying no, and that the arrangement was over, and that final blow of him saying, "You're out of here." That was all it took.
Kristina deals with her frustrations in the usual way.
We had been at her friend's house earlier that day, and she'd stolen a bottle of alcohol from him and, had been drinking all afternoon.
She gets to the house and can't get in, which, all the doors are locked. He's not letting her in at that point. So this makes her even more mad than she already is.
The heck? What, he just locked me out? Bill! Open the door! What, are you just gonna cut me off?
Kristina sneaks into the house to confront Bill.
Stay right here, I'll handle this.
What are you doing in here? I changed the locks.
I broke in, you idiot!
Yeah, I got that idea. Get out of here!
No!
And then she snaps.
What you get?
I just hear Bill screaming, "Kristina, stop. I love you, Kristina. You're gonna kill me. Please stop. Please stop."
Call 911, please!
She beats Bill mercilessly with his own cane.
She was just in this complete rage and this state where I don't even think she was in her right mind. I don't know if it was alcohol or she just, some kind of flipped switch in her brain made her act like this. She just looked like a mad woman, just really just in this full-on rage. I was afraid of her.
𝙀𝙀𝙧𝙀 runs to a phone and dials 911. Panicked by what she's done, Kristina takes off her bloody dress and plays possum.
When the EMTs get there and the sheriff's deputies, she pretends to be passed out. I guess to her, it's sort of a defense mechanism, what's gonna happen now that I just beat this guy up?
He had several bruises that appeared what matched cane marks throughout his arms and body and legs.
Kristina plays dumb with the investigators, but they know she's responsible.
There was no marks, no major marks from where she would have been attacked. And then we eventually got her to admit that she lost control and was mad because of all the stuff that's happened throughout that day.
If you could slap one character for their dumb decisions, who would it be? Huh? Go on. Vent in the comments. I can't wait to read.
With Bill.
Bill is rushed to the hospital, and Kristina is taken into custody.
I think he was shocked just because he loved her. You never expect somebody that you love to do that, so I think he was surprised that somebody you supposedly loved did that. I don't think he ever expected it to rise to that level.
Bill refuses to press charges against Kristina, but he does cut her off completely.
Mr. Herkenreiter was able, while in the hospital, to change his will to where it took Kristina completely out of it, to where she had nothing.
Months later, on August 25th, 2010, Bill Herkenreiter dies from his injuries. In court, Kristina is charged with second-degree murder. She says she regrets her actions and apologizes to Bill's daughters for taking their father away.
I don't think there's any excuse for it. You know, what she did was a very, very bad thing. It was an evil thing.
She had it made, and then one fell swoop ruined it all.
Kristina Pongrass pleads no contest to the murder charges and is sentenced to 15 years in prison. Her best friend, Shandal, knows the story could have had a much happier ending.
Bill really wanted the best for Kristina, and they kind of had, you know, sort of each other's best interests at heart, but they both had like their own set of problems.
Be honest. Did you watch the last scene through your fingers? Comment yes or no.
Alcohol was her biggest weakness. I guess she had a very addictive personality.
All Kristina Pongrass ever wanted was a man to love her. Instead, she's ensured she'll be alone for a very long time.
Deep down, I feel like she was, you know, really miserable, and maybe all she wanted was a normal life. To be able to have friends, to be able to go out, to, you know, be able to do what she wanted. But she had, you know, given up all those things to have this other lifestyle instead. It meant more to her in the end than her feelings did.